So for everyone are gonna see the video, will be just speak both in English and in Italian because it's in live, the tier list. It's not only the video. So we need to speak in both language. So you can just use subtitles on YouTube and you can watch full video in English. Zoro, let's start with Zoro. For me, Zoro, tier 1.5 per me.
But I don't think so, because with the Doffy in meta, Luffy Purple 2 and then Black in meta, I think it was against every
Yeah,
top.
I think so. I think so too.
T2
Non lo so,
dipende, you can put
perché
it
per
at
me
the
sta messo
start of
bene
Frog.
contro quei mazzi là. Cioè, almeno contro Luffy Purple sta messo bene attualmente.
Non so, io so che boh, puoi metterlo T2 e vediamo, poi cosa mettiamo a T2.
Secondo
Che secondo
me,
me.
Tu che dici, Giallo? Per me c'ha
secondo me
spread decente.
ma secondo me però, cioè, sei...
Allora, contro BY perde, contro Lucci perde, contro Doffy perde, contro VP
Ah,
secondo
boh, ma
me
infatti
perde,
sto
però non
dicendo,
so.
cioè non è un top deck, però
Contro
contro
VP
Doffy sicuramente se la
Vabbè,
gioca
ma-
meglio rispetto ad altri mazzi. Cioè, comunque Doffy sarà molto presente.
No, ma Doffy ti distrugge, lo ammazza Zoro Doffy. Cioè, non ce la fa.
Non lo so.
Sta
Tier
uccidendo.
2? Ma boh, mi
secondo
fido.
me...
Ma se perdeva già ai tempi quando Zoro
Sì.
con quella decent, con Doffy che era scarsissimo.
Il cazzo, mo
Comunque era un
che
brutto matchup
tiene,
per
gioca a
Rose.
livello, cioè gioca 4 shopper blocker, non è bello per Doffy, molto
Bah.
veloce Zoro.
Perché pulisce, boh, da capire.
Vabbè,
Pulisce
secondo
parecchio. Ah, boh.
me
Non
Doffy
credo,
può
comunque
essere anche
Zoro.
più veloce di te, cioè...
Sì, sì, sì.
Tier 2 for Zoro. Red Green. Siamo
Ma
opinion.
Rogue o T2?
No.
Top of Rogue, cioè... non
Secondo
mi
me
sento
sembra
di-
tier
We need
2,
to ask, we need to ask to Skepa. What,
We have to
Yeah,
ask to Skype.
Ask the birthday
think?
boy.
For me it's tier 2.
I feel like it has a decent matchup versus like Doffy.
Doffy, yeah.
Yeah, the Otama loops, like it's decent, but I wouldn't like value the deck too much because loses versus everything else basically. To Luffy Purple.
Maybe T2 sounds good.
Yeah,
I think.
sounds reasonable. I guess.
Tier 2 for me is tier.
It's decent. Yeah.
The most
Okay,
discussed deck, no?
Yeah, tier 1.
This
Probably
is
best
a
deck.
bit,
Probably best deck of the
difficult.
format. Yeah, a bit difficult.
Best bait of the format or best deck?
Bait of the format. I like this. Best bait of the format.
Best bait of the format, maybe.
Tier 0 in chat addirittura.
No, no.
Tier 0. Tier 1.
For me, it's definitely tier 1, but this deck, like Nino says, can be a bait.
It's a bit bait.
In a
I think
point of
it's,
view. Because
I think it won't perform well compared to the IVR results or to the Eastern in general, because I see him losing against Black. And also against good Luffy Black Yellow players, so
yeah, but
I don't think he should stay in the same tier of maybe Lucci or Luffy.
And also Purple Luffy can also tech versus Doffy.
Yeah, that's true.
Have
So
some counter.
I don't know how he's still winning a lot of tournaments there in Asia. Maybe after them 8.5 meta, a lot of guys will clip this part of me. We say, you see that.
I think he
won everything, but I don't know.
Qual è la differenza tra ora e dopo l'uscita dello structure? Ma infatti elenchiamo sta roba. In the structure deck, he will take a lot of support, like I think the
Boa Hancock is
it's crazy.
Both Boa and the lower
also
so
Buggy gives consistency.
Yeah, Buggy and
about order, yeah.
And Teach give
regarding your order of the top deck, and also the law, the 4-cost law is very strong.
Actually, law I think is probably on par, if not slightly more oppressive than Boa, because like sometimes when they play low and like they bounce your 4-cost character, you go so behind on tempo. It's not even fair. Like he puts up board, or like he goes Jimbe low, and then he bounces back his Perona or like his buggy, and gives you back your 4 cost which you played to contest board, and you lose like almost on the spot. He has so much pressure then and you like almost insta lose the game. And then Boa is also incredibly consistent, because you can go on turn like on 5 dawn, you can go on 6 dawn, you can go Boa and then play Jimbe another piece. It's so broken.
Yeah, but the deck, in my opinion, needs Jimbe. If you don't see Jimbe,
yeah, but like the thing about the starter deck support is that it gains consistency in eye rolling the Jimbe, because he has so many more cards to see it and to like.
Oh, that's true. But if you don't see it,
because you can
really
order a lot of times your top deck with Boa, with the buggy. Then I found during my testing of DOFFY, I found many times that Law was performing better than Boa, because also I think is the reason why Lucci doesn't need anymore the Kusa, the Forco Kusa. I think if they play Law, you just passed your turn, so it's not a very good play Kusa now, so it depends if it should be still playable or not in Lucci.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Also, the Brook, he has an opportunity to bounce your Brook, your 3-cost Brook on hand, and before he
like
anything,
low is the card that probably that gives you the most matchup versus versus Lucci, and all the black decks in general.
Yeah, it helps you a lot.
The deck is definitely good in the format, obviously. But
it's probably one of the best.
It's not like Asia. Just that we can find something for play against DOFFY. It's not tier 0 for sure.
Honestly,
no.
Like if you put the deck in a 12-round tournament, it's always gonna be different than like 5 to 6 round tournaments, of course. Like the deck sometimes,
that's true, because the deck was performing in Asia in flagship tournaments. I mean, also in big tournaments, I think he did pretty well, but not so much as in their flagships. It was like Law, RP Law in OP07 was winning a lot there, because he was winning a lot of flagships. Then, okay, in 8 it was crazy, because they had the opportunity to play RP Law with the Black Maria, but in OP07 it wasn't that strong to win consistently a lot of tournaments. So that's why I think it's similar to the situation of Law in OP07.
Best flagship
deck. I don't
think
it's best flagship deck, document.
Yeah, when the deck
doesn't see strong Jimbe, for sure, but
when the deck doesn't see Jimbe, it's just too fair. It's almost too fair. When you see Jimbe, it becomes almost too unfair. It's like there is no middle ground.
It depends also if they are able to chain double Jimbe, because only one Jimbe, I think it's okay. 2 Jimbes, maybe it's a bit hard for almost every deck, but even if they play only one, not too problematic, I think.
We have SS Kid, green SS Kid.
I think you can put it in Rogue as
nice Rogue deck.
Because
nice
same support,
Just
Kaido, maybe Rogue.
Yeah, probably Kaido Barn.
Kaido Rogue.
Kaido
top
Rogue,
of Rogue. Yeah.
We don't have to talk about that.
Magellan.
Trash, secondo me.
Magellan it's worse than Kaido.
Mid trash Rogue. Middle of Rogue and trash.
We just put here Smoker. Another deck gets a lot of value from this.
Smoker is a deck to be analyzed. I think I saw some tops also in Asia during the 8.5 format. That's good. It gains good support with the starter, because the Dashiki is strong. Also, the Sengoku one cost is blocking.
No, Dina.
No, Dina, not the blocker. Dina, the 4 cost. I don't think it's that good, but could be working in the deck. But I don't think you will play in Smoker. Maybe Tashiki for sure and Sengoku. I mean, the deck. I don't think it's T1.5, because there are better 1.5 options.
Why
so
you
I
don't
would
have to
put
play
him
Lucci instead of Smoker?
in T2. Yeah, I don't know. You will play Lucci, and there isn't any reason to play Smoker over Lucci, I think. So that's why I will put him in T2 because
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with that.
ST for me is better too. So as for me, ST is T1.5. I think Smoker is T2.
But you have to talk in English because we need to fight against the shit content we see every day.
I don't think he's in the same tier as, for example, Luffy Purple or Bonnie. I think it's T2 right now.
I think are
you
just
can put
better,
it at
these
the
two
top of
decks.
T2. Top of T2.
Top of T2. I agree with that. I don't find any reason to not play Lucci if you wanna play Black. Garp.
I think we wanna move quickly. Yeah.
I think it's just Rogue. Garp.
Yeah, it's Rogue deck. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Rogue.
Moria
Garp is Rogue.
spam. Yeah, Moria spam.
Edward Inugate, the deck who Nino beat me in the first final I get with at this game.
Rogue, I think you get Rogue.
Ace shit trash.
Same as
no, Rogue not shit.
it's Rogue deck.
It's Rogue.
I don't like Ace, but okay. Just
me too, but I think it's Rogue. It's Rogue.
Nami
is trash.
Realistically is like 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 for Doffy because of Doffy. Because
Doffy and Luffy Purple.
Hard
Luffy
loses.
Purple also destroys
Hard
you.
loses against Doffy.
Yeah, because
so
now it's the same situation of Lurep in the meta. Now you have a real gatekeeper. Okay,
yeah,
so
but also Luffy Purple is
also Luffy Purple, yes, too.
I think that Karaori is Rogue, yeah. It's not
Oddio.
a good deck, come on. Rogue, come on.
Yeah, it's yellow, just Rogue.
How can you play?
Is he middle of tier 2 Rogue, but you can't play Katakuri if you want to do something.
How do you
I don't think you're gonna choose this deck for play a regional or a big tournament. It's okay for local level.
Ranked only to have fun and win some games because you are able to steal with the triggers of the simulator. But Rebecca is always I don't know how to say incognita. It's always
strange to define the deck, I think.
Yeah, strange to define the deck because it could be Rogue, it could be T2, maybe a player cooks something and is able to put him in T1.5, but
I think this deck from the start, when it comes out, it's one of the most cooking deck. I don't know how to say that. But you can cook a lot with this deck, with the deck list.
One of the most cookable deck, anyway.
Cookable. Yeah.
One of the most cookable deck.
With.
I think in OP10, with the new supports they announced, the Rebecca will be strong. The Cavendish, the new blue Cavendish.
Yeah, the Cavendish
is really interesting.
Luffy red purple.
I don't know. With OP9, the deck it's really good.
In
OP09 is insane.
Yeah, it seems really strong. Now maybe it's still T2.
Yeah.
Monkey D Luffy Purple. P Luffy best deck. I love this fucking deck.
Almost
one because
almost tier 1
because he needs the Rush Luffy.
He needs the one. I think more than the 9 cost Luffy, he needs the 1 cost event.
Also
because you play a lot of bricks.
The purple counter are crazy. Yeah, the purple counter events that comes out in OP09 were really strong. So
for now, tier 1.5.
I think it's 1.5.
It will rise to 1 maybe.
Tier 1 for sure. Yeah, I mean it has the chance to be tier 1 even now, but it depends on his result and how people are cooking it.
And I think it's a tier 2.
Bottom of tier 2, one of the worst decks in the game right now, probably.
I don't think it's worse than
not the worst, but
NL fell off really bad.
Of course, I'm joking, but NL is I think it's pretty bad.
Loses against Black,
I think
against Luffy, against Doffy. Okay, against Doffy is not that bad. I think he's good. He's even good against Doffy.
I think Vegapunk is almost a little bit better than NL, probably.
Doffy bait.
Doffy bait.
I think is good also against Doffy, but apart from that, against Nami loses, against Lucci loses, against Luffy Purple loses.
Against almost all the black decks, it loses.
It's another skill check sometimes. It's like the situation in Milan
Yes,
where I played low, and a lot of people during the week before the tournament asks in live how you can beat Enel. But Nino just can say Enel it's just 90% for the deck for low. A lot of people lose with that deck against Enel and don't understand how to play against it. It's just game plan. But deck was so free for low red purple.
Enel is such an easier skill check. Such an easier skill check than Nami.
Nami, yeah.
If you're losing versus Enel, it's probably more of a you problem than your
T2 put him in T2, I think.
Okay.
I don't think Rogue because it's still the strongest, maybe yellow deck, but
Moria.
We'll put them. Moria and Peron, I think, tier 2, maybe.
Tier 2, yeah, because searchable Moria.
Searchable Moria.
Like
1.5, I don't think so because it's weaker than Steel, so that's why.
Yeah.
Peron T2 or Rogue, it's middle between T2 and Rogue. Tier 2 because of Moria. Reiju,
Meow?
1.52, I don't know. Because 1.5 it could be okay, but I don't think it's in the same tier of Nami and Luffy Purple.
If I have to see the deck in tier 2, I think Reiju definitely it's not.
It's more high roll for sure because
power.
you need to see like you have less cards than Doffy because Doffy has a lot of cards to order his top deck, so to see Jimbes, Searchers. Reiju, if doesn't see maybe Porsche at the start that is not searchable,
ban for Cosboa
could suffer the early game of Doffy. But I think it's still favored for Reiju. Yamato is at least T2. I don't think it's Rogue, or maybe it's Rogue 2.
Yamato, it's another skill check deck.
Yeah, also for example for Luffy Black Yellow is a skill check. I was losing games at the start against Yamato because for sure I was just staying at 0 life and a 9k, and then he's able to do double spell and rest your 2 sabos and do like 21k face and you just lose. But if you stay at 1 life, you avoid that situation and you can't lose.
For me, it's a tier 2 deck. We can just go on one of the king of the format, in my opinion. Black Yellow Luffy, for me, it's the best deck. Tier 1, but for me, it's the best deck. Better than Doffy. I don't know if Nino.
Yeah, I think it's one of. Yeah, I think it's
certainly
the best.
I think it certainly is the best. Is the deck to beat, along with Doffy.
For me, it's the most difficult deck always. But from 2 format until now, it's like this the situation with Luffy Black Yellow, because you have a lot of option. Okay, if you arrive in the autoplay situation with Moria, it's okay, and you don't need any skill. But you have to arrive healthy. You have to arrive with the right card at the graveyard. You have to know if you have to play Moria in that turn, because after I played the deck a lot in this week, I found a lot of situations where I don't want to play Moria, or I want to just become a 7 with 1 life, play 1 card from my hand, and play the Moria in the next turn. So you have to understand this situation, and it's so difficult. You have to play a lot with this deck. You have to prepare your plan against all the format. You have to prepare the plan against Bonnie. You have to see the right card against some matchup. But in my opinion, it's the deck where you can outskill your opponent for the most. If you pick other deck, for me it's a jungle. If you pick, I don't know, Lucci, you can just do the same. Okay, it's not impossible, but it's not consistent like Luffy Black Yellow. Red Yellow Sabo,
I think it's
Rogue, yeah.
Vegapunk, I think it's tier 2.
Tier 2, yeah. Lucci.
And now,
what do you think of Lucci?
Yeah, Lucci.
Lucci for me, it's definitely tier 1.
T1.
Again.
Lucci is still T1. Still strong. You can touch a lot of cards now.
For me, win against Doffy.
Luffy black yellow, and then he wins against the Doffy.
I think, yeah. It's for sure.
You can touch, and also you can touch cards that works well against black yellow Luffy and Luffy purple, so that's good.
You can maybe have some trouble versus purple Luffy if Luffy draws perfectly, but I mean it's not that bad. It doesn't really like get any bad matchups, or some of its good matchups like gain some cards. It's like it's the same except Nami is less played, so it's gonna be better. Boa tier 2 maybe.
Boa tier 2,
maybe,
yeah. Bonnie? Bonnie.
I feel like Bonnie,
it's strange now.
1.5. It's always 1.5.
1.5 still. Yeah,
I feel it's going to be 1.5 for like the majority of the rest of the game.
Of his life, the majority of his life in the meta game. I think it's 1.5. Because it hard loses against not hard losing, but it loses against black. So I think it's good 1.5. It's,
then
right,
if black becomes
place.
Like if Moria is doesn't exist anymore, maybe it can be tier 1. But but
we have Moria, so we have to adapt.
For sure, would be very, very crazy. So now Luffy
we have the creator here.
1.5. 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
I mean, you like if Nami becomes less played, it's good for you. But also Luffy purple is not like a very favored matchup. It's hard for you. I mean, it feels hard.
Yeah, but Luffy purple is better with ST Luffy than Lucci.
Yeah.
Better. Even Reiju is better with Luffy than Lucci.
Yeah. No, I feel the same, but like I said, like just comparing good matchups and bad matchups. Like you gain some momentum from the fact that Nami will be, of course, less played. But Doffy's, I don't think it's very good for you. It's not really that good. It all depends, like your hand, what you draw. Like, and the build probably is going to change a lot. Like thanks to Doffy.
You need to touch against Doffy. Doffy because he's maybe
before we have a game plan against Doffy
to get Nami.
Yeah, it has potential to be even tier 1, but we need to understand if like we can tech for Doffy well, and if it becomes like, and also if like teching versus Doffy is like worth it.
I think Sabo is needed. Sabo is needed. 8 cost Sabo, you need to play it. When I was testing it, the matchup against Doffy, it's a bit annoying that they are able to bounce your Brook 3 cost, even if you don't under the leader. So it's pretty annoying. And also the Kuzan on curve, they are able to bounce the Kuzan on curve. So even if you go second, at 4 you play Kuzan, they bounce it. At 6 you play Kuzan, they can't bounce it, and then you play Sabo. But you need to arrive at 8 dons with a lot of lives, because if at 4 you play Kuzan, at 6 you play Kuzan, at 8 you will remove for the first time. Doffy at 7 dons already has a full board, so even if you play Sabo, you just clear 2 bodies. It could be because if Doffy starts crazy, like it's very difficult.
We can maybe try to like play the stage. Maybe can be.
Yeah. I was thinking about that because it helps. It helps for the Brook. Yeah, for the Brook helps, and also for the Sanji.
Yeah.
Marco, my opinion, can do something, but I don't know if it's enough for tier 1 or tier 1.5. For me, in this moment, I have a spot in tier 2. King, it's just rogue, in my opinion. Pudding, it's tier 2 for me.
It's tier 2, but like one of the almost one of the worst tier 2 decks. Like
got top cut in Paris, but
as we said, I think the thing about this deck is so like straightforward. It's like easy to play against it because you know
it's so predictable.
What it's going to do. It's too predictable. And also it's like it's yellow but with 4 life.
Yeah, I don't like it. Obviously it's a turbo big mom 10 cost, and if you don't if you don't find any big mom, you are gonna lose the game on spot. Al gara?
T2 mi sembra T2, ma se facciamo tanti T2.
Okay.
I think it could be T2 al gara, ok, but
It's decent enough.
Yeah, just T2.
decent, yeah.
And I think
Sanji
this is the
Rogue.
last one because the other one
Sanji Rogue.
are from
I
OP9.
have tested Sanji, but he's Rogue, I think.
I think like this it's fine. For me, that's the tier list, boys. I think all it's explained. Obviously, if you need something, if you wanna ask something, just write a comment. That's for the YouTube, chat. I think we need to check after before Utrecht finals in December what is the meta situation for just compare to this tier list if we get good or not.